Hello guys and welcome back. This is Pete Dahlgren, and as you can see, we've started the long arduous task of straightening out this fuselage. Now what I'm doing here, guys, you're probably going, oh my god. Yeah, well, this is where the real work is going to begin. And this is 2K primer. This is Spray Max primer, and what I've done here is I painted some of my really troubled areas out. And the reason I'm doing it is so that I can kind of go in and use this primer to get the final shape and fill all these voids. And I just did a spot on it here. I will do more, of course, but what I'm doing here is getting to the troubled areas that I really had a lot of trouble with. Now I went ahead and primered the canopy frame. Got some touch up to do. It's not a big deal, but what I'm doing here now, you're going to notice that there's a lot of areas in the fuselage that just couldn't be it looks very deceiving, but well, maybe I can get it in the camera. I want to show you guys where it's soaked in, and even though I blocked this all out, there we go. This is why I'm using 2K primer. Now anywhere I put any fillers or anything, you can see them. But I'm using the 2K on it and starting to shoot in other areas. Boy, I missed a whole spot right. Oh, it's a run. Okay, never mind. But anyway, the thing is, what I'm doing now is there's a really good shot. Now, this is why we are filling with 2K, because if I went with duplicolor in this, is that what would happen is that would actually eventually shrink back in there and ruin all the detail work you're putting on. And this is why we're doing this, and it's okay. I've sprayed this on fairly thick, and this is why I'm telling you, when I get ready to wet sand this, what I will do is I will take and spray a light coat of black spray paint on it, and then I will actually block sand it out and get it smooth, and then I'll prime it one more time. And then after I do, I prime mine twice. And the reason for it is because I do got a lot of filler on there. But what I want to show you is this is all real nice and neat, but you get in, you see every little bit of the imperfections. And this is why you want to use your primer, and use a good primer that's not going to shrink back. And that's why lacquer is a really bad idea. Cheap lacquer primer is just that. Now you come back on like these surfaces that I actually did go ahead and do, and I leave this stuff in here, guys. This stuff's pretty much already dry. And as you can see, once you have them blocked out, you're going to see every little imperfection you got. But once I go through and I touch these again, all these little voids and stuff like that, this is what I'm going to show you before. When you see all these voids in here and all that, they will disappear. But if you use the 2K primer, you're not going to see any issues with that. Okay, so there's a deal, and yes, I pinned mine first, and you want to make sure that you put some little bit of oil in those to keep them from locking up. And I do that. I just dip them in Vaseline and just stick them. But anyway, these edges and all that stuff like that, I'll get them all, and I will overlap them, and they'll go. Now, I just wanted to just share this with you guys. This is 220 grit, and I will use 220 grit again. And then when I go to finish sand this before I do, so like I said, you can see every bit of your imperfections in this. But this stuff sands extremely easy. It does not take that much time. You know, get it. Now, the reason I primed part of it and not the whole thing is because these were troubled areas. these I knew were going to take a little bit more work, and I wanted to make sure that I got that out. And as you can see, I may have to do a little bit more filling right there in that spot right in there, and it may or may not do. So I wanted more primer in those areas that I knew I was going to have some issues. So it's fixable. It's not even a big deal, and I will get it, and then I will touch it up and get it. But as you can see, this is what I was looking for with all that. And once I sand these out and prime them again, these will get even tighter. And that's just part of the building process, and it takes some time. So like I said, don't get in a big hurry. The only reason I did this is because I knew I had some areas and some issues. And this, once I get this and I block this all out one time, a very large majority of that is going to disappear. And that's what's going to separate the quality of the paintwork compared to other things. Also, I've got some other areas up there that are just going to need a little bit of finessing and work and repriming, and that's okay. Don't worry about if you got it perfect or not. You can't really see it until you're ready to go for the guide coating and all this other stuff that you're putting in there. Oh, a little fumey in here. But anyway, so like I said, take your time on this step, but make sure you're using good quality products and let this stuff cure out. This is the nice thing about this Spray Max or any of the epoxy primers that you're using, guys, is the fact is that once you've got them down and they are cured, they're done. They are not ever going to shrink back. Whatever's on there is on there. And it's really funny because that's actually not too far off the color it is, but is going to be. But as you can see, it all looked real nice and neat. It felt really good. But until you can actually guide coat it and actually get enough product on it, and you want to spray it on there relatively thick. You know, I don't know what mils you'd want on that, but this is a high build primer. So, and you'll see every little booger and everything that looked really good before you primed it. You're going to find every little nick and cranny, but when I go to sand all this out, it'll disappear. And that's just part of doing the creative part on the body work. But if you're going to go through all the troubles of doing panel lines and stuff, you want to make sure that you are doing that. So, and also, the reason for wanting to do a lot of that is because with the 2K primer, I can actually, this stuff is going to lock itself down on there where Duplicolor or any of those other lacquer primers won't do it. They'll peel right off. I can actually wax this off, and I can actually put my molds from my fiberglass, so for my landing gear doors and everything else underneath there. And that's the reason, the biggest reason for wanting to do that. So we want to make sure that we have a good product on that in order to maintain it. Other than that, the jet looks pretty good. I put a lot of time, a lot of work in it, and it's starting to take some shape now. And so, we'll let the beatings begin, and we may have to do some creative thinking around it there, but it's starting to look pretty good, I think. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys.